Hello. How are you guys? I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Are you like, yeah, it was so nice? So did you have a nice couple non-Zoomy days with me so you could catch up with some stuff, I hope? Maybe, maybe not. Can you guys hear me? You're good. I feel like I'm talking to no one. Okay, good. I saw some head nods. I feel better now. Thanks, Michaela. Thanks, Elena. How are those midterm questions coming? I hope you looked at them. Did you look at them? That's step one. Okay. Oh, 3 people shook their head. Yes, that's a good thing. Did you do any of them? Oh, Kelsey says yes. Elena says kind of. Michaela's like, that's a big no from me, but that's okay. If you read them, that's step 1. It's okay. You still have time. I would say if it was me studying for it, because I know it can seem a little overwhelming, like there's a lot of them, I would just do like one at a time and then come back, like do a real good job on one of them and then come back. I had a student one semester, I don't know if I told you, he's been gone a little bit for a while. Gabe, does anybody know Gabe? No. So Gabe made posters for all of his one time. So, and he just found it very easy, had it all ready. And so when, you know, like we did number 7 or whatever, and he did it for 256 as well. So when he did it, he would just go, oh, I'm just going to switch my poster. And he had it just hanging on his wall. And then he would talk me through it. And then I could ask him follow-up questions. But he just liked that. He didn't really love sharing the screen. You know, he thought it was kind of hard, you know, when he was trying to talk to me and share the screen. So he just liked the poster. I'm not saying, you know, that's the way you have to do it. I'm just saying, like, there's some alternatives if that's who you are. If you're like, I can't do it electronically, I love to make things, you know, or whatever, you can do it however you want. But we don't want you to have to write, like, for example, on one of those problems where you have to make the graphs, I don't want you to have to make the graphs right then. They should be pre-made, right? So you should have them ready to share electronically, whether that, or on a poster board. So if you have it on a poster board, you could hold it up. If you have it, like if you did it on paper, you could just scan it and share your screen, right? So, but don't make your graph when we get online together. Like that should be pre-done, right? Hi, for those of you who just got here, I know I was just chatting. We were just talking about the midterm. So you can always go back and watch these first couple minutes if you need to, but I don't think we said anything crazy important, did we? I don't think so. But I was just saying if it was me prepping for this midterm, I hope you've at least read the questions so far. Some people said they started answering one or so, but I would definitely not do this all in one sitting because you'll overlook simple things, right? So I would do like one question at a time and do it really well. And then still, before you come to the oral midterm, review that test, you know, review it and make sure it, the answer really seems like what you want. I love it when people tell me, I had students, online students, that were not the greatest at doing oral midterms because they didn't have me every single day. You know, they were just kind of on their own. And so one of the ways they started practicing was to their roommate or their spouse, like just teaching them the question. And then the person would come up with some follow-up questions because they don't really know anything about it. So that was kind of a fun way to do it. I did have some people who were like, I don't have any roommates. I don't want to do it in front of my parents or my siblings. So I'm not joking when I say this. I had someone do it, teach their stuffed animal, right? Like that was their practice. They lined up their stuffed animal so they could practice. So I know some of you have talked about when you were kids, you used to play school, right? Then that's what you could do, you know, with your, that's what you're doing now because you're getting ready to be the teacher. All right. So long time no see. I missed you guys. I hope you missed class. I don't know, but maybe just the routine of things. Maybe you're like, haha, just kidding. Thought class was over. Blew everything off. I hope you did all your assignments. I have lots and lots and lots of grading to do. You probably know that, right? But I'm on it. No worries. I'm going to get caught up soon. Tonight, I'm going to do a lot. So, any questions you guys have over the midterm exam questions, the midterm assignments that you did, assignments that are due tonight, anything like that? I'm ready.
I'll go. I have a question.
Thank goodness, Madison, because I was like, oh, you guys are awesome. I'll see you later. Good luck. I'm ready, Madison.
So I took, I was previewing the questions and I did most of them, but then I got stuck on questions 6 and 7. Are we going to go over, like, are we learning that stuff this week or?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay.
So if you want a preview of that material, things like that, it would be a good idea to review the slides for the week that are now up in Canvas. I think they've been up since Friday. Yeah, they should have been. And then the other thing that's a good thing to do, hold on, I'm pulling up your course in case I look like my eyeballs are wandering all over the place. I feel like they always look like that, so no worries. There's an assignment that would be very helpful. The video assignment, interpreting percentiles, would be a great one to do. Okay, right? Because one of those questions, I think it's 7, is about percentiles. And what is 6? I can't remember. I don't have it up in front of me. Does anybody have it up in front of them? I can pull it up if you don't.
I think it's the mean absolute deviation one.
And that's what we're doing in class tomorrow. And I have a video in my week presentation about mean absolute deviation. And then we're doing the assignment in class tomorrow called Why Do We Need MAD? So after that, you should be good. And then, like I said, you can preview it before. There's a home interpreting test scores assignment too that's really good. I know it says it's not due till the 21st. Wait, what's that, Wednesday? So, but if you wanted to do that early and turn it in early and get some feedback on it, you totally can. So you don't have to wait until the deadline. And feel free to just send me a message that says, can you look at this assignment I turned in real quick? Because I might be back grading some other things, but you're like, I need to know what this means, you know, before I take this midterm. So no worries on that. Thank you, Madison. Any other questions? I know some of you have bad Wi-Fi connections, so you're not turning your camera on. If you have not sent me a message about that, please turn your camera on. And I know some of you have things going on. As long as you've sent me a message, that's fine, so I know. But if I haven't heard from you, I need to hear from you or I need your camera on. Okay, now I'm gonna let you guys choose. I have a 5-minute mindfulness Monday. It's a really good one. It's one of my faves, but I do not want to do it if you guys are like, we don't have time for a mindfulness Monday. We need to get our stuff done. That's probably when we actually need to do the mindfulness Monday, just so you know. But I'm there for you either way. So why don't you give me a thumbs up if you want it? and give me, is there a thumbs down? There's no thumbs down. Well, that's stupid. Oh, just give me a yes if you want it, a no if you don't. Okay. And I'm not judging you. I don't care. Like, it's up to you. I see 2 yeses and 3. Oh, I see very few no's. Okay, so if you were a no, then just close your eyes. I'm just kidding. Or think of this as 5 bonus minutes that you didn't know you had. But this is a really, really good one. And I don't know about you guys, but my life is busy and stressful and insane right now. Are you with me? Anyone else is that bad? Yeah. So if that's you, take these 5 minutes and really do what it's asking you to do, because I'm telling you, this is one of my favorites. And if this is not you, you're like, oh, I have 5 minutes. I'm going to actually go to the bathroom or get a drink or do whatever you need to do for those 5 minutes and keep your craziness going. I'm not going to judge you. Okay. So turn your camera off, do whatever you need. But this 5 minutes is a good 5 minutes. Okay.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me for this 5-minute guided meditation to practice positive affirmations and removing negative thoughts. Find a quiet and peaceful place to meditate and assume a comfortable upright position. Closing your eyes, take in 3 natural breaths and bring in awareness. Find a natural rhythm in your breath, breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Without any effort, allow your body to become relaxed while you focus on your breath. Become aware of the sensations within as the air flows in and out. Feeling the sensations your breath creates, let's take a few moments to imagine that with each breath you take in, you are breathing in positivity, and with each breath you release, imagine it is the negativity that is holding you down. Breathe in positive energy. Breathe out negative energy. Repeat to yourself, today I will train my mind to see the good in everything. Today I will let go of negative thoughts. With each breath, feel yourself getting stronger and more refreshed. Take a moment to strengthen these positive and encouraging feelings that are flowing through you right now. Positive energy is everywhere and is not hard to find when you look for it. It is in the well wishes of a friend. It is in the dog's tail as it wags when it greets you. It is in the music of the guitar strings and the voice of a loved one. Bring that energy inward. It is as fundamental as the breath we breathe. Now look inward and at the negative energy you are holding onto right now. Shine a light on it briefly and say to it, there is no space for you here right now. You are not welcome. Return your thoughts to your positive energy and feel lighter and at peace. If even just for now, the negative feelings you have been holding on to have vanished, there is nothing left but love and light and possibilities. When you're ready, open your eyes and carry these feelings of positive emotions with you throughout your day. Be well and be safe.
Okay, isn't that a good one? I really like that one because I don't know about you, but those negative thoughts, they come creeping in all the time, right? And I like how they talked about what you should do today. And it's just like today, right? And I'm like, oh, I can do it today. I don't know if I can do it tomorrow, but today I probably can. So that's a really good one. Scripps is a college in California. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but they do a lot of really good mindfulness practices. So I really like that one. Okay, and if you fell asleep, I'm sorry, it's now time to wake up. So, but you have to remember, for those of you that are transferring, which I think is a lot of you in this class, you might be in a classroom in the fall, right? Or even if you're staying here, you might be actually in a classroom in the fall with elementary school students. And I want you to remember that those students had a huge transition as well, because their lives were turned upside down with COVID too, right? Their parents are working from home, telling them to be quiet, you know, or their parents are trying to find sitters for them while they're doing online school and the parent is trying to go to work. You know, there's a lot going on. So think about how you would incorporate mindfulness in your own classroom, right? Because, and I know it won't be your classroom yet, but sometimes when you're with your teacher, even if it's just an interning thing, you're just observing, they'll say, hey, do you have any ideas? You know, my class is being kooky. Do you have any ideas on what we can do? And you can say, hey, let's try a mindfulness exercise. You know, I plan on doing it in my classroom. If it's your thing, I'm not trying to pressure you, but they've done huge studies that they know it's very helpful for students, even in elementary school. Now, you don't have to do a real long one like one we did, and that one was geared towards adults. They have much shorter ones that are geared towards elementary school classrooms. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Any questions, concerns, problems? Okay, hey, got another little bit of info for you that I think will be nice. I'm going to do office hours tomorrow night, 7:30 to 8:30. Because by Wednesday night, you'll be taking the midterm, right? A lot of you, or you'll be crying about it. So I'm not going to do them Wednesday night. I'm going to do them tomorrow night. I saw a party hat from McKenna.
You said 7 to 7:50?
7:30 to 8:30.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, regular. So it'll be just like Wednesday night, but it'll
Okay.
be Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
Yay, Betty likes that. Tyler likes that. McKenna likes that. Was anyone planning on coming on Wednesday?
I was.
Okay, can you do Tuesday, Betty?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I could
Okay.
do Tuesday. Thank
Bethel,
you.
can you do Tuesday? Okay, Sunita can do Tuesday. Okay, so here's the deal. My kids have a school concert Wednesday night, like a real live concert in person. I'm so excited. So, and I think it starts at 7, but if anybody needs me on Wednesday, I could do earlier than that, you know, like I could do, I think I have midterms. Hold on. I have midterms Wednesday till 3:20, but I could probably do after that. And so if you need to see me on Wednesday, just let me know. But I thought Tuesday night we might have a big party, right? With lots of people. Okay. You guys are so quiet. I have a class that is absolutely silent right now, and I don't know what to do with them. It's not you guys, but I'm just saying, you guys are getting close. Except for Betty and Madison and McKenna and Tyler and whoever else just put up their little emojis. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is what we're going to do this week. Notice I only have 3 days because I'm worried that we might run over. I don't want to freak you out, right? So I just put up 3 days worth because then we're going to start geometry and it's so different anyway that I didn't want to make your head explode. Okay. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the calculator and box and whisker plots. Tomorrow we might get into MAD today. We'll see. Then we're going to talk about MAD and percentiles, and we're going to talk about the normal distribution. So you should be all good. Okay, so let's warm up because you did the mean, median, and mode over the weekend, right? Or over our little mini break. So a car salesman sold 14 cars on Monday, 14 on Tuesday, 18 on Wednesday, 7 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, 6 on Saturday. I feel like these numbers are wrong, but it's fine, right? Don't you think he'd sell more cars on Friday and Saturday than on Monday and Tuesday, but whatever. Determine the mean, rounded to the nearest 10th, median, and mode of the number of cars he sold, and get it ready in the chat. So you're going to type mean, median, mode, and yeah, oh no, he is rocking it. He's the salesman of the year right there. Okay, and you're going to put, you know, mean equals, mode equals, blah, blah. Do all that, okay? Don't hit enter until I say it. I'm going to give you some time.
If it's a decimal, how would you want to surround it?
Can you see my screen? It says to the nearest 10th.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. I was just making sure I was sharing my screen. Okay, I don't want to rush you. How many of you still need time? Okay, I'll give you a little bit more time. All right, how about now? We ready? Okay, you got them all ready in the chat, yes? 3, 2, 1, go. Look at that. Isn't that fun when you see everybody's? I love it. I love it. Okay, so rounding, be careful, right? Round it to the nearest tenth. Okay, I think everybody is okay. I do want to go over the median just because that's kind of what we're talking about today anyway. So I want to make sure everybody's all right with that. So, and we'll talk about how you did it because you have access to a calculator, but your students who are doing this in 6th grade, by the way, this is a 6th grade standard, they will not be using a calculator. They will be doing it all by hand. Yes. So you as the teacher should be doing it by hand as well. That doesn't mean you shouldn't check it on your calculator, right? But when you show me your work, you should show me everything. So here's an example of showing your work. So adding them all up, I wonder why I don't have another 14 there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have another 14 there. Yikes, just found that. Okay, so your sum was 61, 61 divided by 6. And now students would do it by hand, 61 divided by 6, right? And they might do scaffolding, right? Might do the big 7. And then they say, oh, 6 goes into 1. So I know it's going to be 10. And then they could do this, 10 and 1/6, right? And then they might know, ooh, like 10 and 1/6, what happens when we have 1/6? Well, first of all, I know it repeats, right? How do I know it repeats? Because there's a 3 in that denominator, right? Does this flash back to anyone? 256. So this would be 10 point, and it's really 10.16666 forever. So then when we round, we get 10.2 or 10 and 2/10. So notice how I wrote the sentence. I didn't write the mean is or the average is. I wrote the salesman sells an average of 10.2 cars per day. Do you see how that's meaningful for the problem? Instead of just saying the mean is 10.2, that's not meaningful for the problem. That's why we do statistics, is to interpret them. The second one, I noticed that some people had the second one incorrect. Let's make sure we know how to find the median. I ordered them least to greatest, and I do the median like this. And then these two are in the middle, so I need to find the middle of that. So 7 plus 14 divided by 2 is 10.5. So the salesman sold under 10 cars half of the time per day, and over 10 cars per day on the other half of the time. Half of the days he worked, he sold less than 10 cars. Half of the days he worked, he sold more than 10 cars. Yeah? Okay. I don't know why I just said 10, because we really don't sell half a car. So I felt like that was just a better way to say it, right? Okay. And then mode, the number of cars he sold most often was 14. All right, questions, concerns? Everybody okay? Yeah? All right, good. Box and whisker plots. Did anyone do their video assignment yet on box and whisker plots? It's a good one. You'll like it. Yeah, it's a good one. It's kind of fun. Students will love that one. So we didn't talk about box and whisker plots as a data display because they really relate more to statistics. So they're a graphical representation showing the distribution. So this is the first time we're starting to see how things are really laid out. I mean, we kind of did in our dot plot, right? And in our, maybe our histograms, but this gives us an idea of how our data is spread. And it also tells us our 5-number summary. So in our 5-number summary, they go, the 5 numbers are the maximum, the minimum, the lower quartile, the upper quartile, and the median. And so, and we call the lower quartile Q1, the upper quartile Q3, and I'll show you in a picture and then you'll have a video backup for that. So the lower quartile is the median of the lower set of numbers. The upper quartile is the median of the upper set of numbers. Oh, wait, I wanted to talk to you about one other thing about our warm-ups. Did anyone do it on their calculators, like using a graphing calculator, like putting in a list of the data and then running that data on the list? How many of you have a graphing calculator like this? How many of you who have this graphing calculator know how to use your lists? Do you know how to use your lists? Yeah, some of you. Let me see. So I have directions I can send you, with a packet that I don't think we're going to do. Let me see if I can just turn my camera to this so you could see my calculator while I type instead of changing everything. Okay, so tell me if it's super duper glary. Okay, so let me get out of here. So now I'm just in my calculator, right? I just turned it on, nothing else. So I'm going to hit this button that says stat. Okay, it's that button right there under delete. It says stat. And if you can read that, you can pin me and make me bigger if you want. So you can just see me. The first menu choice is edit. Okay, and that's what we want to do. So we're just going to hit enter. And mine has stuff in it. Yours might be blank because I use my lists all the time. And this one right here is named L1. This one is L2, L3, and so on. So I'm just going to use my arrows right here to go to L1 at the very top. Notice my cursor is way up there blinking. And I'm going to hit clear. And then I'm going to hit enter. And do you see how it deleted everything in that list? Now there's nothing in that list. So I can type in data values just like if I was on a spreadsheet. So I'm going to type in 14, 14. I can't remember what the other numbers were. Sorry, 14.
I can read
14,
them off to you.
18, good. And then what, 7?
7, 2, and 6.
Perfect. So I put those in there. I'm going to show you. So I just put those in there. Don't worry about what's in L2 because I just have everything in L1. And then I want to get out of this list. To get out of this list, I hit second, which is that blue button, and quit. And then it just brings me back here. So now I want it to do stuff. By the way, I do this all the time. I carry my calculator with me. I know because I'm a dork. And I do your stats. Like if I'm grading a quiz or something, like by hand when I used to have paper, I would put all my students' data in and I would run stats on it so I could see what it was. So you're going to hit stat again, that same button that we used to get to the list. But this time, do you see how if I arrow over, it says tests? You see that? That is not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to calc. And the first thing under the calc menu says one var stats, one VAR stats. And I'm going to hit enter. And then it brings up this thing. Now, if you have an older TI, like if you have a TI 83, it will not look like this, but you can still put the information in there, by the way. So I don't want it to look at L1. I want it to look at L2. I want it to look at L1. So I'm going to hit second L1. L1 is way down here. It's number 1 on your menu bar right here. And then I don't have any frequency and I just click calculate. It does all these stats for me. Sorry about that glare, but do you see the first thing it says is X bar is 10.166666667. That's my mean. It gives me the sum of the X's. It gives me the sum of the squares. It gives me this S of X and sigma of X, which are my standard deviations, by the way. And then it gives me Q, it gives me my min, my Q1, my median, my Q3, and my max. It gives me the 5-number summary right there. But your kids won't have access to this unless you choose to have access to it. But you probably won't because they have to do it by hand, right? So I have these directions on a packet that I'll put in OneNote for you. Okay, so you could do it if you want them, but you can run these stats really easily here. The reason I didn't show you on Desmos graphing calculator is because it's a little bit wonky. So here is Desmos scientific calculator. It will do this. If you hit function, do you see how I have a choice of mean? So I can put in 14, comma, 14, comma, again, I forgot them because I have short-term memory loss, 18, comma, 7, comma, 2, comma, 6. And see, there it gives me my mean, but it doesn't do any of the other functions. If I go to Desmos graphing calculator, the reason I always pick Desmos is because it's free, just so you know. And you click functions here, it does have stats where it can find the mean, the median, the min, the max, the quartiles. And it'll even find the MAD for you. So if you're using this, I do enable this on your midterm. It can help you verify your answer. Now, you still have to show me all your work, but this is just a nice way to double check for you. I was just doing this on on my other desktop, and it was giving me a strange number for this. So I want to see. I think I missed a 7. There we go. Yeah, it was right on here. My desktop, for some reason, is set up to round, so it only rounded to 10. Weird. So Desmos graphing has this ability as well. Okay, so that was a side note. So the 5-number summary, usually the 5-number summary is written in order. So it's written min, Q1, median, Q3, and then max, because that would be least to greatest. Okay. So what do you think quartile means? Why do you think they're called quartiles?
Because it splits it into quarters.
Yeah. It's split into 4 pieces, and specifically 25% of the data, 25% of the data is in each quartile. So 25% of the data is from the min to Q1, and then 25% of the data is from Q1 to the median, and then 25% of the data is from the median to Q3, and then the last 25% is from Q3 to the max. So that's why they're called quartiles. Never forget that 25%, because when you start looking at box and whisker plots, you start doubting that 25% because you're thinking of something a little bit different. Okay, the other thing we can see, the range, this is our first measure of spread. It's the most basic measure of spread, usually not super helpful, right? Doesn't tell us a whole lot. So for example, when I give a test, my measure of spread on my test is usually from 0 to 100. So my range is 100. And why is that? Because someone doesn't take it, so they get a 0. And someone does awesome and gets 100. So to find your range, you do the max minus the min. So usually not a super helpful, but it is a measure of spread. So my data is very spread out if it's got a range of 100. Now this one, interquartile range, is more helpful. And the reason that's more helpful is, remember when you were learning your measures of spread, your measures of central tendency, we should always report a measure of center with a measure of spread. Yeah, because sometimes it's not appropriate to report the mean, right? If I come to you and I say our class average was 75, that might not tell you what you think it's telling you. Okay? Because maybe I had one person that did amazing and got 100, or a couple, and everybody else got a 60. But my average was a 75. Or maybe my whole class got C's because they were really close together. It's important to say, how spread out was your data? So I have to measure center and I have to measure spread. Okay. So the median splits my data in half, right? So when I use quartiles is when I'm using the median, okay? And the interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. That's what, that's how interquartile range is calculated, okay? Okay, we're going to do an example so you can see it. The next few slides that you see are what you're going to do with your video. Okay, so this is all from your video. So no worries, you'll be fine. Here's some box and whisker plots in real life. Okay, this is coral, counting coral. So if you look, each one of these is a box and whisker plot. So there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. Okay. So, and this is showing you how the reef has changed from 1985 all the way up to 2010. Okay. And you will take a look back at this once we understand what they look like. So let's talk about housing because we're going to use this throughout the week. So we're going to get some data and we're going to find the 5-number summary. And I don't care how you find it. We're going to find the min, the max, the median, the Q3 and Q1. So here is our data. So this is scenario 1. We have these houses. So we have 6 houses in the neighborhood. The cheapest one, sorry, I don't know why that did that. The cheapest one is $53,000. And the most expensive house in this neighborhood is $1 million. Do you think they want to live in the same neighborhood? Maybe. You don't know, right? Okay, so what I want you to find right now is find the 5-number summary. So I want you to find the min, Q1, the median, Q3, and the max. Now, some of you are like, wait, we don't know how to find these 2. That's okay. Find the other 3. You definitely can find the min, the median, and the max. And then we'll talk about how to find the other 2. All right, you got them? Let's talk the min. So I kind of spoiled it for you, right? Because I told you the smallest value was 53,000 and the highest value was 1 million. So the min is 53,000 and the max is 1 million. What's the median?
Would it be 91,000?
Anyone else get 91,000? Nice. And how did you get that, Betty?
I labeled them from least to greatest, and then I found the median, but it was in the middle between 65,000 and 117,000. So then I just added those two and then divided by 2.
Very nice. So definitely order them from least to greatest. Then I feel like I'm missing a number. No, not yet. And you kind of have to leave the commas off or you might get confused, you know? So if you're doing it by hand, which I highly recommend. Okay, and then you're just marking them off. And so then we're finding the middle between these two. So 65,000 plus 117,000 divided by 2 is $91,000. Everybody all right with that? Excellent. Okay. Now, we didn't talk about Q1 and Q3, but we kind of did because we said up here in a previous slide that Q1, where does it say it, is the median of the lower set of numbers and Q3 is the median of the upper set of numbers. So when you do that, you have to be real careful, and textbooks are often wrong on this. So please pay attention. When I have the median, my median is right here in between these two. So these three numbers count in the lower half and these three numbers count in the upper half. If you have an odd set of data points and there's an exact middle data value, you do not count that number in the lower half or the upper half. So don't get confused, okay? It's different. So the median of my lower half is 65,000, so that's Q1, and the median of my upper half is 200,000, so that's Q3. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay.
No,
so,
can you explain that again? That
Yeah.
last part?
Yeah, so I'm trying to find, I split my data in two pieces. I have my lower half and my upper half. So I just do the same thing I do to find the median, but I only do it with the lower half set of numbers. So I'm only looking at these three numbers, 53,000, 65,000, and 65,000. And I want to find the middle, and I'm just marking off from the ends, just like I do with the median.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so my 5-number summary for this is 53,000. Then, so that's my min, and these are dollars. And then 65,000 is Q1. 91,000 is my median. 200,000 is my Q3. And then my max is $1 million. So if we were going to draw a box and whisker plot for this, it would look crazy, right? Because my data is so spread out. So let's look. You would have a number line at the bottom. The smallest we want is like 50,000. And then we have to go all the way to 1 million, right? So that's a big, big gap there. So let's see, if we say this is 100,000 right here, right? Then that would be, let's see, this would be about 200,000. I could make that a bit smaller. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thought I was going to make it 9. And then 1 million would be way over here. Now, some people start getting goofy with their intervals. Your intervals need to be accurate. So don't be fooled, because that's how the data display works. So this would be 200,000. 300,000, 400,000. This is 500,000. Okay, so let's make a box and whisker plot. So these are going to be, I'm going to call this housing scenario 1. Okay, so my min is going to be way down here. I'm going to put a line right there. My median was 91,000. So my median is going to be like, oh, maybe right there. My maximum was 1 million. So that's going to be way down here. Yeah, way, way, way down here. Now, my Q1 is 65,000. So that's going to be real close to this. And my Q3 was 200,000, which would be right here. So look at this box and whisker plot. So this right here is my Q2, which is also my median. This is Q3. This is my max. You usually don't label these, just so you know. I'm just doing this for you. And then this is my min. Now, if I look at this box and whisker plot, can you tell how spread out my data is? Yeah, because here's what you can't forget. Are you ready? This is the part everybody forgets. 25% of my data is right here in this little spot. 25% of my data is right there. Then 25% of my data is right here in that spot. Then 25% of my data is here in this spot. And then 25% of my data is here in this spot. Now, this is a weird scenario because we only had 6 data points, right? So this is a very contrived scenario with only 6 data points, but you can tell that this data is extremely spread out. This is probably an outlier, right? He doesn't really belong in the neighborhood, right? So, and we could talk about what outliers mean as well. Yeah, Karina, it's unfortunate that you were taught that the median is both numbers in the middle. That's not true. From a statistical point of view, that is a lie. So, and I'm not surprised because textbooks have it incorrect. Okay, so but when we're talking about measures of center, it's good to use the median when you have outliers, right? It's good to use the median when you have outliers because they don't count, right? We just knocked off that million. If we found the mean would be much higher than this, right? Okay. So, do you understand what box and whisker plots are? All right, so now what I want you to do, here's scenario number 2. Do you see how these numbers are different? Yeah, I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. Here's your job before the end of class. You will produce as a group a box and whisker plot and the 5-number summary. Okay, and you will show all your work. If you do it on paper, then somebody needs to screenshot it and send it to me. If you do it on the whiteboard, you know, that's pretty easy. You just share your screen, do it on the whiteboard, and then you just screenshot that and send it to me. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to do a box and whisker plot and 5-number summary for this data. So write down those numbers, get those numbers down. Okay, everybody got the numbers down? Perfect. So right now, while you're waiting to go into your breakout room, you should be finding the min, Q1, the median, Q3, and the max. And I'm gonna leave you in here for about 2 minutes to do that, and then I'll open up your breakout room so you can talk to your teammates, okay? All right, I'm gonna put you in your room so you can compare to each other, okay? boy, oh boy, you guys were all just chilling in there. Nobody came out early. So you must have been busy or talking about your project that's due tonight. You were all in your groups with your people from your project tonight, except for you, Michaela, because Sarah disappeared. Like Sarah was here, but I think she got kicked out. So,
Okay.
so sorry about that. But I figured you didn't want to be alone, so you could chat with the other group. And everybody else was with their group. So hopefully you clarified anything because that's due tonight. Don't forget. Okay, so in the chat right now, can you guys put in your screenshots? I should get 6 of them. And then I want you to, and you could, if you didn't put your names on it, you could just say this is, you know, Elena's, Amanda's, and Kelsey's. I got 2 so far. I got Karina's group and Amanda's group. Okay, the other thing that I want you to do is calculate the IQR. Remember the interquartile range? So for scenario 1, we did that one together. And we had our Q3 was 200,000 and our Q1 was 65,000. So 200,000 minus 65,000. And that was Q3 minus Q1. And then your IQR on your second one, what was your Q3? I got Hannah's, by the way, now.
For scenario 2, Q3 was 300,000.
Is that what everybody got? 300,000, very nice. And then what was Q1?
215,000.
Is that what everybody got? Okay. And then when you subtract those, because your answer is the answer after the subtraction, right? So don't get confused. So what would your IQR be for scenario 1? I got Sunita's group now.
$135,000.
Very nice. And then for scenario 2?
85,000.
Okay. Now, everybody okay with those? By the way, Sunita, yours, I got yours and it said it's dangerous, but I took it anyway, just so you know. So I'm living on the
I was
edge.
trying to figure out how to send it from my iPad, but I'm on my desktop this time,
you're
on my
fine.
laptop. So I had to like download, save, transfer, and everything.
So what is the meaning of this value? So what this IQR of 135 versus scenario 2 of 85,000. So I said, what is the meaning about this value? So in other words, does it encompass a certain percent of the data? What percent of the data is in that Q3 to Q1 spot? Anyone? It's not a trick
50?
question. Yeah, it is 50. 50% of our data is there, right? So 50% of our data lies within $135,000 of each other in scenario 1 and $85,000 of each other in scenario 2. Okay. So when you watch that video, I think it'll help. And that's the connection with the box and whisker plot. That's the box, right? Q1 to Q3 is the box. So here's all your assignments. I know you have a million of them and things to do. There's your exit ticket. I put it in the chat. Okay. Thank you, SA. So I got Brianna's group. And wait, Brianna and SA, were you in the same group?
Yeah, did she send it to you?
Yeah, Brianna sent me the screenshot. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing somebody's screenshot. This is who I have: Brianna, Sunita, Hannah, Amanda, and Karina. So I don't know who I'm missing.
Roxanne, I sent ours through Canvas because it wouldn't let me submit it through
Okay.
Yeah, the chat.
Perfect. I just got it. So you're good. Yay. Thank you. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry I kept you a couple minutes late today. Bye. Anyone have a question? I'm just hanging out here for you. And so to get it marked right, you don't put anything in between it but commas. You don't put any words, just the numbers in order left to right.